Biology chapter 18 theory video 6 we are going to look at viruses. So you have learned from O level in O levels as well as in AS level that viruses don't show the characteristics common to other cells. So they don't belong to any of the three groups that we have discussed three domains. They don't belong to to any of the domain classification. The reason is because they don't have any of the features that we use in relation to these classifications. So they look quite alien, and they don't have any of the characteristics that we have. We have stopped short of defining them as alien structures, but if we are able to find its origins, this is not something this is argued upon, that they could have some alien origin, because none of them have now you this is the feature of this is the structure of a virus. So as you can see, you don't have any of these features in the none of the living organisms look like this. They look, this looks like some may argue that they look like the some arachnids, but it is something that has been argued upon for between the scientific community. Now, the viruses have certain structures and certain characteristics that make them important in gene technology. Because they don't belong to any of the three domain classification, any of the three domains in the domain classification, we don't use the characteristics features to identify viruses. One special feature of viruses is that when they are free in the environment, they are infectious, but they have no metabolism. So that means they are inactive when in the natural state. That is not inside a host cell. But when they infect a cell, they use the biochemical machinery in the host cell to copy the viral nucleic acid and to make viral proteins. So this results in the destruction of the host cell. This is the reason viruses are dangerous. So this is the reason viruses cause certain diseases. Now, even today, we are really worried about the COVID virus. So that is a mechanism of destroying. So what it does is the respiration in the host cell will provide the energy that is needed for the processes of the virus, that is production of viral nucleic acid and to make viral proteins. So when that happens, the cell is destroyed and overall the organism is affected. So then how are we going to classify these viruses? That depends on the type of nucleic acid they contain, DNA or RNA, and whether the nucleic acid is single-stranded or double-stranded. When you take a cellular organism, DNA is double-stranded and RNA is single-stranded. So that is the cellular organisms in the sense all prokaryotes and eukaryotes. But in viruses, both the DNA and RNA will be either single-stranded or double-stranded. So that means there are four groups of viruses, that is DNA single-stranded and double-stranded, then RNA single-stranded and double-stranded. So here we have given some examples of DNA, the number of strands from 1 to 2 and RNA 1 to 2. So the K9 parvovirus type 2 The host organism is dogs and the disease is canine parvovirus. Then African cassava mosaic virus, cassava plants are affected. Then disease is mosaic disease. Then you have uh, uh, varicella zoster virus, VZV, humans, chickenpox, T4 bacteriophage, Escherichia coli. Then, so like that, there are some examples given here. Then RNA double-stranded virus is human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, that is caused to humans. So these are some features of viruses, and depending on the type it varies. Please write down a note on this. Viruses are microorganisms only visible under electron microscope, and they do not have cellular structure like bacteria and fungi. They are not classified under 3 domains. Because they don't have any of the characteristics that make them uh, part of the classification. When they infect cells, they are able to use the metabolism of the host cell to show living characteristics. However, outside of the cell, they are infectious but have no metabolism. Unlike cellular organisms, where DNA is double-stranded and RNA is single-stranded, viruses could be both single or double-stranded for DNA and RNA. Please write down this chart, table 18.2, to get you some examples of this. So then you will be able to understand and provide examples for different types of viruses. If you have any doubts, please ask.